Hi, second generation. We are so glad to see you again this week. Hey, look at my background. We have already begun having our worship services back here in the building, and it's going to be a little bit while longer before we're back here in second generation. But in the meantime, Miss Justine and I have returned to work here at the building. So I am here recording on the second generation sets. And Miss Justine, because we still have to practice social distancing, is in her office recording. So we are here in the building bringing you our virtual lesson for this week. So I don't want to waste any more time. I want to get right to our exciting, fun lesson today, Mr. Randy.
Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad you're here. Glad you can join us. We're continuing our series on YOLO. You remember, you only live once, so make it count. You know, you want to make good decisions and do the right thing and do things that are pleasing to God. First of all, we're going to have a little bit of fun with another marble race. What's this? Roll that marble footage. I love this. Oh man, that was great fun. Hey, I hope you didn't lose your marble race. Well, hey, right now we're going to move on to Miss Justine, who always has something fun and exciting for us. Miss Justine, are you here? There you are.
Thank you, Mr. Randy. All right. Well, I hope your marble won. Mine got second place, but that's okay. It's great. All right. So we have another fun fact question for you today. All right. So it is, what is your favorite summer activity? All right. I know your summer may look a little different, but you can always do some things outside and with your family. So we want to hear in the comments below what your favorite summer activity is. My favorite is swimming at the swimming pool with my friends. So let us know. Also, this week in your blessing bag, you have a fun game that you can play with your family. All right, so you can take out your picture card with your angry passengers. You can take out your smiley face circles, and your parents will have the instructions and the questions. So your parents are going to ask you questions that go along with our Bible verse today, and you will have an opportunity to answer them. And if you get it right, you get to cover up some of those angry faces of those passengers. All right, it should be a lot of fun, and hopefully you'll learn a lot. All right, Mr. Randy, I think we should sing a song today.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. And I have one I know you'll love, because we'd love to do this song. Nothing can beat the sweet love of God. We're going to sing the banana song. Here we go.
I would like to try mango.
I like bananas. I think the mangoes are sweet. I like papayas, but nothing can beat that sweet love of God. I like bananas. I think the mangoes are sweet. I like papayas, but nothing can beat that sweet love of God. That's what I'm talking about. I was walking around in circles, 5 miles an hour, trying to find my way back to my heavenly Father. The world tastes sweet, but soon it turns sour. And then I ask Him in and receive His power.
1, 2, 3.
I like bananas. I think the mangoes are sweet. I like papayas, but nothing can beat that sweet love of God.
His love is so sweet.
I like bananas. Oh, I think that mangoes are sweet. I like papayas, but nothing can beat that sweet love of God. That sweet love of God.
Oh, that sweet love of God.
I was walking around in circles,
Dizzy.
5 miles an hour, trying to find my way back to my heavenly Father. The world tasted sweet, but soon it turned sour. And then I asked Him in and received His power. I like bananas. Oh, I think that mangoes are sweet. I like papayas, and nothing can beat that sweet love of God. The sweet love of God. That sweet love of God.
Oh, His love is so sweet.
Do-da-dippity.
Try mango.
Hey, that was great fun. You know, we're talking about making good decisions and doing what's pleasing to God. And, you know, if we follow Him with all of our strength and all of our passion and give Him an undivided heart, we can do just that. So sing this with me, Undivided Heart.
Your word goes out through all the earth, and I hear you. I hear you call me to obey and
What a great song. Thank you so much for singing with us today.
Hey guys, I have a question for you. What makes you mad? I mean, really mad. I know that there's a lot of things that can make you angry. But now I have another question. Now, this one may not be as easy to answer. Have you ever gotten so mad that you did something you regretted? Maybe it was that you hit someone, or you talked bad about someone, or even worse. I don't want you to share your story, but I think that we can all probably think of at least one time that anger took control of us and we lost our cool. Well, today we're going to learn about another character in the book of Esther. His name was Haman, and he really let his anger get control of him, and he ended up making some horrible mistakes. But before we get to our lesson, I want you to watch this awesome video.
I'm Lauren, and welcome back to this series, YOLO, You Only Live Once, where we've been learning about some pretty awesome stories from the book of Esther. And of course, I'm on a journey to do some pretty daring risks. Today, you're not going to believe what I'm going to do. Check it out.
Today, I'm going to do something no one else gets to do. I'm going to ride in a drift car. Here he comes.
Incredible. You know, there was a point where I got kind of angry, but I quickly regained control with God's help. You know why? Because anger is a horrible thing with horrible consequences if you let it control you. Someone who really dealt with anger in the book of Esther is a man named Haman. His anger led him to do some horrible things. You're going to learn all about that in your lesson today, and you're going to learn from Haman's bad example of what happens when you let anger control you. Well, I'm going to let you get back into your lesson today. And while you do that, I'm going to be planning my next big stunt. Until next time, I'm Lauren, reminding you that you only live once. Make it count.
You know what, guys? Anger is a really powerful thing, and we all have to learn to deal with it. Well, God gave us emotions for a reason, and it's okay to feel anger. But if we don't control it, then our anger ends up controlling us. And just like Lauren in the video had mentioned, we're going to learn about a man named Haman, and his important lessons about controlling anger. And that leads us to what's up? Our main point for today: I won't let anger control me. Okay, and I think we're going to learn some really important lessons from Haman in the book of Esther. There's no need to fear. Wacky Wally is here.
Hey there, Wacky Wally. Did you get a new costume?
What's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to start something, Justine?
What? No, you're wearing a different costume. I was just asking a question.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wally, are you okay? You're acting really angry.
Oh, I know. It's awesome, isn't it? Oh, I mean, whatever.
Why are you acting like this? I thought you were supposed to be a superhero in training.
Well, I still am. I'm just trying out a new technique.
Looking like a weird giant lime?
What? No! I am trying to get super strength by being angry all the time. You know, like the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yeah, you mean that big green dude in the purple pants, right?
He's more than that. I mean, he's like 20 feet tall and he's covered in these giant muscles and can bench press a whale, and he yells, "Hulk smash!"
So you mean that big green dude in the purple pants?
Yeah, that's him. Well, anyway, I'm trying to stay angry all the time so I can get super strong.
Well, that sounds like a horrible way to live.
Oh, yeah? Well, here, I'm going to send you something. Read this.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Wally, this is just a Chili's receipt.
Oh, whoops. Flip it over. I wrote it on the back.
Comic books are for losers?
How dare you say that? Oh, I'm getting so mad. I could just... Wally smash! I said, Wally smash! Oh, come on. Wally smash! I guess I'm not angry enough. Oh, Miss Justine, punch me in the eyeball.
Well, I'm not gonna do that, Wally. This is pointless. You can't let anger control you. It doesn't do any good.
You're right. And this is exhausting. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Well, first of all, don't overreact. Keep your cool.
Keep my cool? Like Mr. Freeze? No way. He's a bad guy.
No, not like that. I mean, just keep and stay calm. Don't hold on to grudges. Choose to forgive. And when times are hard, don't be bitter. Choose joy.
But how am I supposed to get super strength?
Well, you can get a different kind of strength. You can show the world that the joy that comes with following God with all of your heart.
You know, you're right, Miss Justine. Well, the Hulk can keep his muscles in his tiny little purple pants. I mean, besides, this green costume is making my neck all itchy. Give me a rash or something. Well, you know what? A wacky Wally is a happy Wally. Well, I'm going to choose joy. Well, I will see you later, citizens. Wacky Wally, away!
Well, you never know what Wacky Wally's going to do. But you know, I've got a question for you. Have you ever thrown a temper tantrum? Now, I bet every one of you has, if you will be honest. So right now, we're going to have a competition. We're going to have Mr. Josh and Mr. Randy see who can throw the best temper tantrum by stomping their feet and counting their steps. And we're going to give them 15 seconds to see which one of them can throw the mightiest, meanest, angriest temper tantrum. Are you two ready? Give me a thumbs up.
We're ready.
All right, I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1, start. 10 seconds. You got 5 more. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Time. Stop. Stop. Okay, let's see. Which one of you threw the most steps? All right, Mr. Josh, can you crawl up to your chair and let's see how many steps you had?
My pedometer says I had 9,000 steps.
Wow, you
Yeah.
were getting really at it. Mr. Randy, though, looked like you were having a pretty doozy of a temper tantrum. 14,344 steps. My goodness, Mr. Randy, you are the winner on this situation. That
I
is
think. Oh.
amazing.
Congratulations,
I
Mr.
think
Randy.
you need to catch yourself, calm down, and let's see what Miss Justine has for us right now.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rick. Well, today's Bible story follows the story of another important character in the book of Esther. Well, it was Haman. Haman was a very powerful man. In fact, he was the most powerful official in the empire. Well, however, he was not a good man. He was very selfish and demanded that everyone bow down and show him respect. Well, one day, Haman was walking near the king's gate. All of the people who were there began to bow down and honor Haman. Well, almost all of the people. One man refused to bow down to Haman. That man was Mordecai, Esther's cousin that we learned about last time. Mordecai refused to bow down because he was a Jew, and Jews are taught to only worship God, not men. Well, Haman got so angry at Mordecai that he made a vow that day. I will kill all the Jews because of this. Wow. Can you believe that? Just because Mordecai refused to bow down to him, Haman got so angry that he vowed to kill all the Jews. Talk about overreacting. Well, Haman was letting his anger control him. From that moment on, Haman plotted to kill the Jews. He even convinced the king to make a law saying that all Jews would be killed and all of their possessions collected. All of this was scheduled to happen on a particular day. In the meantime, Haman went home angry. He gathered his family and friends together and started bragging about his wealth and how important he was to the king. You'd think he would be happy about all of the blessings in his life, but that's not quite the case. Haman said, "All of this is worth nothing to me so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate." Haman had allowed his anger at Mordecai to turn into bitterness. That night, the king was reminded how Mordecai had saved his life several years earlier. The king asked, "What did we ever do to honor Mordecai?" When he learned that nothing had been done, he demanded that Mordecai be honored in a big way. So Mordecai was paraded through the city on the king's horse. While he paraded around the city, one of the king's officials was forced to walk in front of the horse, announcing to everyone, "This is what the king does for someone he wishes to honor." Well, can you guess which official was forced to do this? Yep, that's right. It was Haman. He had been so angry at Mordecai that he wanted to kill him. Instead, God taught him a lesson by making him honor Mordecai instead. Well, as we continue our lesson today, you're going to learn how letting anger control you never works out well. So, Mr. Rick, do you have a Bible verse that helps us with this lesson?
We certainly do, Miss Justine, and that was a great Bible story. Well, our Bible verse today is going to be found in Psalms 4:4a. We've just been talking about anger and how Haman let his get control. Well, this one says, "Don't sin by letting anger control you." So I want us to say it together, and I want you to say it in your angriest voice, like they did in that temper tantrum with Mr. Randy, Mr. Josh. Okay, are you ready? Don't sin by letting anger control you. Psalms 4:4a. Now, I'm going to be quiet for a minute, and I want you to say it at your house in whatever voice you want to say it, imitating someone or like a baby or whatever. So let's say it. Okay, good. I hope you did a good job with that. Now I want us to say it one more time. This time I want to say it very sincerely, like God would want us to say it. Don't sin by letting anger control you. Psalm 4:4a. Mrs. Denise, I think we have something else to go with this, don't we?
We surely do. We've got some lessons that we can learn from Haman. And today we are studying all about him. Now, Haman was a man who struggled with something that many of us struggle with, and that's anger. We all get angry at times. I mean, how many of you have ever gotten angry at, well, let's say your brother or your sister? Or maybe you got angry at a friend because they did something that hurt you. Or maybe you even got angry at your parents because they wouldn't let you do something that you wanted to do. Like maybe go and see a certain movie or spend the night over at someone's house. There are many times that and things that will make us angry. I mean, we all get angry. Anger is an emotion, and God created us to have emotions. Anger is an emotion just like happiness is an emotion. Anger is an emotion just like sadness is an emotion. And it's not a sin to be angry any more than it's a sin to be happy. How do I know? Because the Bible says in Psalms 4:4, in your anger, do not sin. Now that must mean that it's possible to be angry and not sin. So how do you do it? How do you get angry but not sin? Well, we can learn a lot by studying what Haman did. No, I don't mean that we should follow his example. You see, Haman teaches us what not to do when we become angry. When we become angry, don't overreact. Keep your cool. We've all seen people lose control and yell hurtful things at someone or hit someone or throw something across the room or something like that. Well, when you lose control and you let your anger gain control over you, well, you end up doing things that you wish you never would have done or say things that you wish you never would have said or hurt people in a way that you wish you never would have hurt them. That's why losing control is a sin. Now, Haman, he lost his control so much that he decided to kill all of the Jews simply because Mordecai refused to bow down to him. He totally overreacted. He let anger control him, and he totally lost it. Now, when we get angry, we can't lose our cool. We can't overreact. We can't scream or yell or cuss or throw things, whatever. We have to maintain our cool and not overreact. Another thing that we can learn by looking at Haman's bad example is that we don't want to hold grudges. Don't hold on to grudges. Choose forgiveness. A grudge is, well, it's what we call those bad feelings we hold towards those who have hurt us. I mean, we've all been hurt by others, whether it's a friend or someone we care about letting us down, or maybe it's a bully at school picking on us, or people that we don't get along with or talking bad about us. We all have been hurt in some way. And when we are hurt by others, we have a huge choice to make. We can choose to forgive them, or we can choose to hold on to the grudge. And when you choose to hold a grudge, well, you can choose to hold on to those hard feelings you have toward that person who hurt you. It doesn't matter what they do or how many weeks pass by. You choose to stay angry at that person who hurt you, and that is called holding a grudge. Now, Haman, oh my, he held a grudge against Mordecai. In fact, he ended up holding a grudge against the entire Jewish people. He let his grudge grow into bitterness. It was sad because he really wasn't hurting Mordecai by holding on to that grudge. He was really hurting himself. Okay, so let me explain. Got this backpack here. Now, this backpack represents your heart. And when you choose to hold a grudge, well, it's kind of like this brick here. You can choose to carry those hurtful, hateful things around in your heart. And you walk around with all that anger and hate in your heart. Well, at first, it may not seem like much, but the longer you let it go or the more it grows, well, the heavier and heavier it gets. And some people go years and years refusing to forgive the person who hurt them. They think that they're giving that person what they deserve. They think that they're hurting the person who hurt them. And what they're really doing is making it even harder for themselves as they carry the weight of that grudge. The truth is, you aren't hurting the other person. You're hurting yourself. You're robbing yourself of the joy that God wants for you to have in your life. You know, Haman refused to forgive, and he ended up becoming a bitter person. Remember how he sat around talking about all of the blessings in his life, but said, all of this is worth nothing to me so long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting over there at the king's gate. You see, Haman held on to the grudge so long that it turned into bitterness. So what we can learn from Haman's bad example, don't be bitter. Choose joy. Rather than carrying the grudge and becoming bitter, choose joy. Choose joy by choosing to forgive those who have hurt you. Now, it's not easy, but that is God's plan for your life. The only way to truly forgive someone is to choose to let go of the grudge. Just let it go and lay it at God's feet. Ask for his help to forgive the ones who have hurt you. And when you lay it down, you walk away, and then you don't ever pick it up again. Anger is a powerful thing. If you let it control you, then you may find yourself looking a lot like Haman. You'll end up being bitter and angry and a resentful person. And that's not God's plan for you. Some of you may need to ask God to forgive you for being angry and holding a grudge for so long. Some of you need to go to the person that you've been holding a grudge against and forgive them face to face. Tell them that you forgive them. Allow God's forgiveness to heal the relationship. Don't hold a grudge. Choose to forgive. Tell you what, we've learned some pretty powerful things from Haman today, haven't we?
Okay, I think it's time for us to ask some questions and see if we can drain our brains. That was a great lesson that you shared with us, Mrs. Denise and Miss Justine both. So I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to see how well you paid attention. On a few of these questions, I'm going to be really disappointed if you got the wrong answer. But here we go. Here's the first question. What's up today? I won't be angry, or anger is awesome, or I will not let anger control me. Which one do you think? Well, let's see what the answer is. It is, I will not let anger control me. So important that we don't let anger control us. Okay, second question is, who did Haman become angry with because he refused to bow down? Made it a little harder because they all start with an M, but was it Matthew, or was it Mordecai, or Michael? Who do you think? Well, let's find out which M it is. It is Mordecai. All right, number 3. What did Haman decide to do to get back at Mordecai? Have a party without Mordecai? Or steal his lunch money? Or kill all the Jews? Well, the correct answer, and I hope you got it right, is he said he was going to kill all the Jews. So hopefully you're 3 for 3 at this point. Question number 4. What did the king do to honor Mordecai? Did he give him a high five? Did he praise him through the city? Or did he make him a cake? Well, if you're paying attention, we know the answer is that he praised him through the city. All right, question number 5. Who was required to walk in front of Mordecai? And Miss Justine told you this one. Was it Haman? Was it Esther? Or was it the king? Hopefully you said Haman. Okay, we're halfway through. So question number 6. What was the stunt that Lauren performed in our video today? Did she go drifting, bungee jumping, or skydiving? Remember, she got pretty wet doing it. So the answer is she went drifting. Remember when she spilled all the water on herself? All right, question number 7. Now, fill in the blank. According to our lesson today, don't blank, keep your cool. So is it don't scream, don't worry, or don't overreact? I think there was a hat that showed us this answer. So the correct answer is overreact. Number 8, another one, fill in the blank. According to our lesson today, don't hold on to blank, choose to forgive. Is it we don't hold on to grudges, we don't hold on to hurt, or we don't hold on to the past? The correct answer is grudges. Good, we're doing great. Question number 9, another fill in the blank. According to our lesson today, don't be bitter, choose. Do we choose faithfulness? Do we choose joy? Or do we choose anger? I hope you all said choose joy. Last question. How are your brains doing? Are they getting pretty close to empty? Well, let's see right now if you can remember where our memory verse was found. Was it in Esther 6:12? Was it in Galatians 6:2? Or was it Psalms 4:4a? What do you think? The correct answer is Psalms 4:4a. And remember, we don't want to get angry because that is a sin. Well, hopefully there's a little bit of brain power left. I think we drained a lot of it out, but see, there's got to be a little bit because we want to sing another song. And Mr. Randy is doing such a great job with our music tonight. Have you got one more lesson for us? Song for us? I can't even talk. I'm so confused.
Hey, this has been a great lesson for me. I guess your brain's drained also. It's been a great lesson for me. Maybe I'll throw less temper tantrums there, Mr. Rick.
Okay.
Okay, we should follow him and do things pleasing to him every day. We're going to do that song right now. Hope you remember it.
Every day, it's you I live for. Every day, I follow after you. Every day, I walk with you, my Lord. Every day, it's you I live for. Every day, I follow after you. Every day, I walk with you, my Lord. Every day, Lord, I learn to stand upon your word, and I pray that I might come to know you more, that you would guide me in every single step I take, that every day I can be your light unto the world. It's you I live for. It's you I live for every day. It's you I live for. It's you I live for every day. It's you I live for. It's you I live for every day. It's you I live for. It's you I live for. You I live for. It's you I live for every day. It's you I live for. Hey Jesus, it's you I live for every day. It's you I live for every day. I follow after you every day. I walk with you, my Lord. Every day, every day, every day. It's you I live for every day. I follow after you every day. I walk with you, my Lord.
This has been a great time. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you next time. So right now it's goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.